First said it was streaming. All right, let me pull up the software again. All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. Wayne in Spain. No, not in Spain. Wayne on the beach is a pain. Jans in France, they many in your pants. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the beach. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small and stay humble. Focus on the long term and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to the Forex.Today YouTube channel, which is on the road this week. Gotta go beach. Get your beach on. So, thank you for being here. Hopefully sound is okay. I have an external mic. It seems to be coming across fine. So we'll keep this relatively short. We'll keep it focused on technical analysis. I've done lots of fundamentals recently. The big fundamental news is tomorrow, FOMC. So, right, you don't have to get crazy on that. What else? Okay, so we'll do some technicals, ask questions, and I will do my best to answer them. All right, hang on. Sounds like right there. Well, let's see what I can do. That is maximum on everything. Critical advanced audio properties. Well, all I can do is turn that mic, the headset off, and I think it's going to get worse. All right, we can go this way. Oh, and you know what I need to do? I have to switch the scene anyway, so hang on. Where's the other scene? Scenes. I deleted my old scene. Oh, here we go. All right, cool. Let's get that out of the way. All right, is that better? Cool. So, anyways, let us be going. So, ask questions, get involved, and thank you, Traders Way, for being a sponsor. TradersWay.com. Cool. So, I can't see what you see anymore. Please confirm that you have my charts. I'm going to assume so. So, I will keep it going. Let's take a look here. There's our CAD. Okay, we had the OPEC meeting Monday. Right? And that's obviously the big market mover, and I'm already a bear on US dollars, so the perfect move is down. However, we are running into vacation. That's when you hit that gray area, you go on vacation. Right on, Reckless. Welcome to the family. I shouldn't have two mics open. Hang on. No, that's off. This is off. Send another email. I'm on the road, Timmy. Send another one. All right. So anyways, this is an exit zone, as you can see. Wow, can't even see that. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it's there. Okay, so just do it again. So this is an exit zone, as you can see. So what you do after that is your own problem. Yeah, I'm right on the beach. Right there, they're setting up my umbrellas. Nice. All right. So anyway, so that one's done, and you should know going into the risk event why that occurred and why we expected this to happen and why we talked between the Wednesdays is the likely potential for a reversal. So if you listened, it's not a surprise. Over here, same thing. We talked about this, and I got a lot of questions in the YouTube content comments. Hang on. Let me readjust this. There you go. I got a lot of comments in the YouTube comments about when I was setting this trade up. I talked a lot about OOPCT, which is just a setup out of the training course. So if you've taken the training course, you know exactly what that is. And that occurred right in this area. And sure enough, OOPCT hit the target to the exact pip, and now it's started to come down. That's what's supposed to happen. So then what happens after you hit your target? Profit taking. Isn't it interesting that the stock market had a down day yesterday and that we had talked about it 14 days ago? Cool. By the way, I hope the sound is a little better. So again, now we wait for FOMC. I'm still a bear, but I expect the dollar. I'm a dollar bear, but I expect bullish dollar for a few days. Cool. Okay, here's your gold. Okay, gold is neutral. Now you might say it's down, but one of the things I'm looking at is this. Okay, which this really is one standard deviation from this mean, and this is one standard deviation from that mean. So it is slightly more bearish. Of course, you can do a regression channel to help you make a decision. Okay. By the way, is the sound better when I'm like, I got my lips on my keyboard? I'll do this so at least I can see a little bit of what's going on. Cool. Yeah, well, I would imagine there's a lot of background noise. Cool. Water is nice and warm, though. Nice. Cool. Thank you, Jules. Anyway, so you see this? So you should know that we're neutral, right? This is what I said, we're neutral. Bouncing off of support pivot, which is not a good pivot to bounce on. It's not really a quote unquote a real pivot. Okay. Where am I? Well, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Let's put it that way. But apparently, it turns out one of my neighbors owns an island about 80 miles over there. And I'm like, they own that island? Yeah. And the hotel. And I'm like, yeah, hate those people. Anyways, so I don't have my island. I'm on an island though. Let's put it that way. All right. Cool. So anyway, so up and down and up and down and up. And I don't know. It's like one of these things where if there's a regression inside of a regression, right? Like, let's do like something like this. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, like a line like that holds. Okay. And you're like, well, why would you draw that if you also drew the study? Remember, the study is only telling me two standard deviations from a mean. Who cares? It's just an algorithm. So now I'm creating my own algorithm, connecting this top to that top. And really, if you do this, it's probably one standard deviation, just if you remember how to do the math. So channels, uh, linear regression, standard deviation. So you already know how to do this, right? Yeah, and sure enough, I'm spot on. Gee whiz, I can't get this study out of the way now. Cool. So check this out, because I know it's hard to see. It won't let me grab from there. Gee whiz, come on. It's an object, I guess. Gee whiz, come on, Bubba. Regression, trend right, standard deviation, edit. Man, I had to go manual on this one. Okay, and so I drew it like this. Remember, I connected that high out here. And so what I was doing, apparently with my mind, um, one standard deviation from the mean, two standard deviation from the mean. So anyway, so that's kind of, I'm thinking up in here would be a great place for this to continue mission. Okay. Anyways, so that's a short-term detraction and consumption. Okay, which is a risk-off mode for now. Same thing here, looking at Aussie yen. What would we use if all we did was price action? Well, I kind of look at this as neutral. There's that. It's not how I look at it though. I look at it kind of like that's kind of how I'm looking at this. Okay. So once again, 2 weeks ago, we predicted between the Wednesdays that there would be some profit taking, and of course, ciao, we're now in profit taking. Is that cool? Yes, but on we talked about that days ago. You should have seen this coming like a freight train. You can see the billowing smoke above the stack. I mean, it was coming hard and fast, obvious. Okay? You should have been waiting at the station. Let's take a look at some Bitcoin. Wow, that's zoomed in all the way up. All right, let's do this. Let's kill some indicators. Bio Wyatt. Goodbye, Wyatt. Oh, hello, Wyatt. Okay, all right. Biddy. When was the last time we had a higher high? Okay, so a breach above that's going to be very important. You might argue now whether you think it's going to go above 10,000 or not go above 10,000. Nobody cares. What would Yoda say? It breaks or it does not break. That's all we care about. It breaks or it doesn't break. We don't care about anything else. So right now you got to pay attention to these candles, rejection, rejection, rejection. If on the smaller time frames you see vulnerability, that's bears getting in. Okay? Because at some point, I mean, the profit taking should have been weeks ago now. So if the bulls are not going to push it above, then the bears are going to take it down. Bears got to eat too, you know. Eventually, the bears lose patience. So what would a bear think here?
or it's never going to let me in there. It's going to delete them all. Kill them all. Oh, forget it. Kill them all. All right. Here's another way that a bear might look at it. I don't know if my fibs are set up properly. Of course, they're not. I love how the programmers make the standard Fibonacci yellow, because that's very helpful. By the way, do you know how to set up my pivots? You want to see how I set them up? Okay, I just deleted the 0. Watch this. Tricky boy here. 78.6. The opposite of 382 is 618. The opposite of 50 is 50. The opposite of 618 is 382. %, I don't use. Delete 618. Sorry, 1618, 2618, and 423. Nobody cares about that, bro. Come on. Cool. So now I hit that, and it still hasn't changed. Colors. Gotta make this fat. Cool. See? 382, 50%, 618, 786. But, here's the big but. There's your targets, already pre-drawn for you. I know, right? Now, I usually draw 121.4 and stuff like that, but I'm on the road, bro. Let's keep it simple. By the way, I'm drinking Death Wish coffee. The strongest coffee in the world. So, anyways, that's what a bear is thinking or hoping or praying for. Oh, he's like, sounds like I'm on a beach. Yeah, I'm on a beach, bro. Let's see if I can switch this. Yeah, sounds like a beach. Yeah, yeah. All right, so hang on. Now I got to move everything around. All right. All right, cool. La 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 la. So let's move. I gotta move. Give me the juice. All right. So we got some Bitcoin. We got some gold. We got some USD Kitty Cat. We got Euro Dollar. Wow, look at this. Cool. This is the old MetaTrader setup. Is that right, Pips King? Yeah, the first time I ever bought it. Yeah, the beach house has one of those Keurig coffee makers, and I don't like that style of coffee. I like better coffee. But so I had to go out and buy something. And I've heard of the brand. Of course, I don't buy the K cups, so I'm like, oh well, I'll double dip. I'll buy a K cup, and I'll get Death Wish. All right, pound dollar. Nice. What do I see here? I see vacation. Thank you, Goose. I am so far. We've only had like 5 fights. All right, check it out. I look at this chart and I see vacation. The obvious money here is this setup, and that setup 2 weeks ago brought us to this target. We've hit our target. We're done. It was supposed to happen fast. It was supposed to open early. We were supposed to hit our targets early, and then we were supposed to exit with profit taking between the Wednesdays. All of that occurred about a week and a half ago. Okay, we talked about it here. It happened. It happened again. It happened again. It happened again. Hit our targets. And here we are, the Tuesday before the Wednesday. Done, 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 done. You're supposed to be done. What else do you want? Well, Wayne, what's it going to do next? Who cares? Your arms should be full of bananas. Okay, USD Kitty Cat we did. Euro dollar we already did. USD Swissy, it's not really one I trade. But you can see this move down, risk off. Risk off, baby. Money flowing to Switzerland. Okay, cool. Now the dollar part is risk on, but this flow here is the between the Wednesdays profit taking, money going back to Switzerland. Okay, what else is going on in the world? Let's go yen yen. Well, audio should be bad, but not terrible. Come on. So check this out, guys. Okay, so I did listen to Bloomberg this morning, and they're like talking about this surprising risk-off move today and yesterday. And I always find that frustrating because I look at this chart, and you should have been out of this market on Thursday. Friday was NFP, drove this up, and now what? Profit taking. But we knew this back here, guys. You have to stick with your plan. More importantly, this was the odd one out where I'm like, look, there's nothing on this chart technically to say that this is going to go up, but it was a behavioral finance issue. I hope you wrote all of that down so that you can predict these things. It's not your chart, it's not your indicator, it's human behavior. People told me this. Okay? And now think of it, if you did your job and you anticipated, and by the way, the whole live trading group, I said do this on your dailies. Your monthlies aren't going to work, your weeklies might even be too slow. You need to focus on your daily pivots. How many people can confirm that? Where I said your weeklies were already like out of position, so they're already dead, except for the target. Two, your weeklies are probably too slow. They're not pricing in this week's big move because last week wasn't a big move. So pivots are stupid. You have to understand that. So now to update your analysis in near real time, you have to go to dailies and day trade your weekly and monthly swings. How many people can confirm that? Good. Thank you. It's not that I'm right. It's that you remember. Because if you don't remember, then it didn't happen and you're not going to learn. So I hope it was helpful. Hopefully it's helpful now if it wasn't before because you didn't get it. But now I want you to say, now I get it. Right? Now I'm connecting the dots. Okay? Human behavior, behavioral finance. Okay? Yeah. Well, but getting from here to here was one step, but then between the Wednesdays, it was like, get ready for profit taking. So bears are waking up from their hibernation. Good, 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 good. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, cool. But here's the other thing. You notice I'm not really adding any new analysis. What am I telling you? What did I say? Like, what was the major reason? Well, NFP, which I proved in front of thousands of people that the expected number was stupid and how to do basic fundamentals, right? That was nice. Now what? The second thing is we predicted the price action move before it happened. We predicted the target. We predicted the timing. All those things were right. And so what happens now? What happens around this Fed meeting? Let's say once the Fed meeting is over, guys, what happens? What do we call the time period after the June Fed meeting? Regardless of if it's on the 10th or the 20th. Usually it's more like the 20th, but what do we call that? What's the word we describe for the period after the June Fed meeting? Summer. And isn't that, Luca, isn't that the prime reason we talked about the way that this market would behave? I said, because traders are thinking about the summer, okay? And how about this? When is the end of the quarter? I want you to think about this behavioral issue here. When is the end of the quarter? Yeah, we got about a 30-second lag here, so you got to be patient, which means by the time I respond to your response, you have to wait 30 seconds. Okay, I want you to think about something because, like, the easy trades are dead. They're done. We already made all our money. Now, bears or whatever are going to come out and do their job and clean up the mess. But I'm a bull, so I'm done. And by the way, I'm on vacation. Why? Because of the chart. Look at all of this has to do with this. Okay. Now, think about the less than amazing stock portfolio manager, whether it's a wealth manager or a hedge fund or a trader of some kind, and they missed this whole upward move. Do you understand? As of now, the stock market in the United States, where they use the S&P 500 or something else, all stock markets are now above the, the February 14th high. We are now positive for the year. But I want you to think of something. How many of the fund managers out there did not buy the dip? They stayed out because they were a bear and they were scared and they didn't understand and they were trading the economy, but they were not trading the market. You understand that? How many are out there? They are freaking out, freaking out. Okay? Delta Airlines, if you remember 3 weeks ago, I told you you could buy it at $18. It's up 50% in 2 weeks. What if you're not on that and you're a professional? Okay? Check it out. Carnival Cruises was 10, it's 30. Uh, MGM Grand, like all of these have doubled and stuff, up 50 to 100% or more. We talked about all these companies and I explained why and we calmly did all this. But now what? What if you're managing a few $100 million, which makes you tiny, by the way? Any wealth manager has a couple hundred million. If you're independent, you probably have more than that. So if you're outside of the big houses, right, then you probably have 500M or not. Many, many, many of these guys have sports marketing degrees from, some state school, right? Eastern West Virginia State University with a sports marketing degree, and now they're your wealth manager. Okay? So a lot of these guys missed it. They missed it. And so there are going to be some people making some pretty bad trades now that all the targets have been hit. So I think this is what you're going to be fighting with for the next couple of weeks till the end of June. So be very careful. Use shorter term pivots. Use shorter term analysis. Don't really swing trade per se beyond a week, but you should almost be day trading every single day now. Okay? And by the way, everyone in my live trading group has now been fully trained on how to trade down into a 4-hour candle and below. Then they've been fully trained on how to swing trade for the day, which we call a day trade. Then they've been fully trained on how to swing trade for the week. And they've been fully trained on how to swing trade for the month, which we call position trading. So these people are going to do very well. So thank you everyone for being in my COVID-19 group. We got some cool changes coming to support you beyond the June time frame. But I just want to show you how I pulled all of this together, including Ryan. And by the way, Ryan and I are building some pretty cool things in the background that will be very soon released and will just blow you away. So anyways, there's lots of help available for you. Lots of resources to help you become a professional. We're thinking way bigger than getting you profitable. Profitable is the standard operating procedure. We're thinking about how to make you professional. So anyways. So tomorrow is going to be the Fed meeting. Okay, so there's two things. Tomorrow's the Fed meeting. They're not going to change anything, they're not going to do anything, and they're not going to change anything for a very long time. Done. Great. But it is important, and it will mark the beginning of a new behavior in the market. Okay? I want you to understand this. The next 12 weeks are not going to be like the last 12 weeks. So I want you to figuratively take a hat off and put a new hat on and say, you are a new type of trader now, the next 12 weeks, because the market conditions have changed. Okay? You have to understand, if you don't change with market conditions, you'll keep doing what you used to do, but you won't get the same results. I have to check Jim. He and I need to talk. I think he's not using the right Zoom link, which I've published. So I have to get with him today, Jimmy. So anyways, you have to now adapt your behavior. Everything you've been doing the last 12 weeks are not going to give you the results you expect. Not that you've changed, but the market conditions have changed. So now you're going to need to change, okay? You're going to move into day trading and intraday trading mode. We call this shooting at rabbits. And so one of the things you need to do between now and the end of the month is pay attention to the end of the quarter. People are going to be desperate to get positive in their fund by the end of June, because at some point they're going to have to write a letter to their clients, and their clients are rich, so they have more than one wealth manager. And one wealth manager says we're up 5%, and the other one says we're down 5%. Guess who gets fired? So they're going to be desperate to make money in the next 3 weeks. What happens to people that are desperate to make money quickly? Yeah, they screw up. And so I'd be very careful where we are. I set you up easy money, easy June money. I showed you how. I told you why. Okay. So all the June money is easy, and now it's gone. If you didn't get it, you have to ask yourself why. And then the next thing is stop doing everything that you've been doing, and don't look outside the day. Okay? Don't look outside the day. There's only today. There's only today. Okay? But you're going to have lots of profit taking, and then you're going to have a big rally, then you're going to have lots of profit taking, then you're going to have a big rally, and it's going to get all over the place. So I don't want you to think long term strategically and all that kind of stuff. I want you to pay attention what's happening today, what's happening in the next 4 hours, what's happening now. Okay? And don't get caught up in volatility. Okay? Know what you want. Write it down. What is it that you want? I'm a bull. I want to buy at support. I can use technical analysis to pick a few prices that I'd be interested in. And then I do my job. Okay? So, thank you everybody for being here today. Thank you for your patience on the sound. Where are you? There we go. So thank you for being here. Ta-da! It's hard to see, huh? Anyways. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Welcome to summer. I will see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for your patience, guys. I know it's difficult on the road, but I appreciate your patience. Cheers.